Ellie and the Golden Forest Secret. In a small town cradled by rolling hills and ancient forests, lived a young girl named Ellie. As the days grew shorter and the crisp air hinted at autumn, Ellie felt her heart begin to race with excitement. She loved every detail of the season: the crunch of leaves beneath her feet, the scent of wood smoke in the air, and the vibrant colors that seemed to turn the world into a painting. One misty morning, just as the first autumn leaves began to fall, Ellie noticed a peculiar sight from her bedroom window. A single golden leaf floating past, shimmering like a drop of sunlight. It seemed to glow with a gentle, magical light, and as Ellie watched, it drifted slowly, as if inviting her to follow. Intrigued, Ellie quickly bundled up in her cozy scarf and jacket and slipped outside. The air was crisp and fresh, carrying the faint scent of pine and moss. She chased the golden leaf across her yard and into the edge of the forest, where it floated just out of reach, leading her deeper into the trees. The forest was alive with autumn colors. Trees painted in hues of red, orange, and yellow seemed to dance in the morning light. The golden leaf glided ahead, guiding Ellie down winding paths, across small trickling streams, and through groves of trees whose branches arched above like a grand, leafy cathedral. As she ventured deeper, Ellie noticed something unusual. Everywhere the golden leaf passed, the forest seemed to change. Mushrooms glowed softly at the base of trees, ferns swayed as if greeting her, and birds chirped softly, creating a melody that filled her heart with warmth. It was as though the forest recognized her, welcoming her as one of its own. Eventually, Ellie reached a clearing she had never seen before. At its center stood a massive oak tree, ancient and majestic, with roots that twisted and coiled across the ground like the veins of the forest itself. The golden leaf fluttered down to rest gently on one of its roots, and as Ellie approached, a gentle rustling filled the air. To her surprise, a fox emerged from behind the tree. His coat was the deep, fiery orange of autumn leaves, and his eyes held a wise, kindly spark. He dipped his head in greeting. "Welcome, Ellie," he said, his voice warm and familiar. Ellie gasped softly. You know my name." "Of course," the fox replied with a smile. "I am Fen, the guardian of the Golden Forest. We forest folk know those who truly love and cherish nature. The golden leaf has chosen you for a reason." Ellie's heart fluttered. Why did it bring me here? Fen's amber eyes sparkled. Each year we reveal the heart of the forest to a human who holds autumn close to their heart. This is a rare privilege, Ellie, and today, the magic of autumn is yours to witness. With a flick of his tail, Fen gestured toward the grand oak tree. As Ellie watched, the tree began to shimmer with a golden light, illuminating the clearing like a warm autumn sunset. She stepped closer, feeling an almost magnetic pull toward the tree. Then, as if by magic, the bark parted slightly, and a doorway appeared, carved into the trunk. "Step inside, Ellie," Fen encouraged, his voice gentle and reassuring. "There's something you must see." Ellie took a deep breath and stepped through the doorway, feeling a gentle warmth envelop her. Inside, she found herself in a small, cozy chamber, illuminated by a soft, golden glow. All around her were tiny, delicate objects: an acorn carved with intricate patterns, a feather dipped in silver, a miniature wooden flute, and small glass jars filled with colorful autumn leaves. Each item seemed to radiate with a gentle magic, as if holding the very essence of the forest. "These are treasures of the forest," Fen explained as he stepped in beside her. Each item holds a memory of seasons past. The golden leaf brings you here to remind you of the magic that lies in every leaf, every gust of wind, every sound of nature. Ellie ran her fingers along the carved acorn, feeling a warmth spread through her hand, and as she did, a memory filled her mind, of a beautiful autumn day spent collecting acorns with her family, laughing and playing under the trees. She looked to Finn in wonder. "These treasures keep the spirit of autumn alive," Finn continued, "and today we will give you one, as a symbol of your connection to the forest." He reached up to a small shelf and took down a delicate necklace. It was simple but beautiful, a tiny acorn pendant carved from the ancient oak tree and topped with a golden leaf charm. "This acorn will always remind you of your love for nature, and when you hold it, you'll feel the spirit of autumn close to your heart." Ellie took the necklace in her hands, her eyes shining. "Thank you, Finn. I will always treasure it." Finn smiled. "The forest will remember you, Ellie. And know this, whenever you feel lonely, whenever you miss the magic of this day, just hold the acorn, and the forest will be with you." Ellie spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the heart of the forest. She met other forest creatures, a wise old owl, a family of curious squirrels, and a gentle deer who looked at her with a softness that made her feel like an old friend. They each had stories to share, memories of autumn's past, and as Ellie listened, she felt an unbreakable bond forming with the forest around her. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the trees, Ellie knew it was time to go home. She thanked each of her new friends and said a heartfelt goodbye to Finn, who stood by her side, watching as she walked back through the forest. When Ellie finally emerged from the woods, the golden leaf floated down once more, landing gently in her palm. She held it close, her heart brimming with gratitude and wonder. With her new necklace around her neck and the golden leaf as a keepsake, Ellie returned home, knowing she would never see autumn the same way again. From that day forward, Ellie felt the presence of the forest wherever she went. Every autumn breeze, every rustling leaf, and every flicker of sunlight through the trees reminded her of the golden forest, of Finn and her magical friends, and of the beauty that lies within nature's heart. And no matter how many seasons passed, Ellie held her acorn necklace close, knowing that she would always be connected to the magic of autumn.